Alright guys, welcome back. We're going to be solving another question from second chapter of the Meriam textbook, and we have these two forces that are showing in this figure acting on XY plane. So this question is actually a 2D question since all the forces are in XY plane. So the two forces are applying at T-beam cross-section. We know that the resultant of the two forces has a magnitude of 3.5 kilonewtons and a line of action that lies 15 degrees above the negative x-axis. So if this is our negative axis, the resultant of these two, which we call it R, is gonna make 15 degrees in here. And we need to determine the magnitude of the F1 and the inclination of F2 with x-axis, or the angle theta that we are seeing in the figure. So as I was saying, this question is not a 3D question, so we don't need to get scared with that. So this is our x-axis, this is our y-axis, and this is the force F2, which we know is 2.8 kilonewton. So what I'm seeing, I'm just looking at these forces from here. So this angle is theta, which is one of the unknowns. We also have the force F1, which makes 30 degrees with y-axis, and this will be our R, or the resultant of these two, that makes 15 degrees with the negative side of x-axis. So we can do the triangle rule that we have. So we have the force F1, we have the force F2, and this will be our R. So F2 we know is 2.8 kilonewtons and R is 3.5 kilonewtons. So let's figure out the angles that we have in here. So if we actually, I'm gonna show R a little bit like that. So let's consider this as R, then I can show the x-axis better in here. So this will be our x-axis and this will be our, so this angle over here is 15 degrees. And what we know for F1 is that F1 is also here makes 30 degrees, and that's because we have two parallel line in here that this one's crossing. That means these two are similar or 30 degrees. So that's the 30 degrees in here. We have in here the angle in between would be simply 90 minus 45, which is 45 since this is a right angle. So now we figure out one of the angles. The other angle that we have in here is that if we do one line parallel to x-axis, this angle will be same as the one underneath, which is the 15 degrees, and let's call this angle so this angle is actually the theta that we have in here. So we basically have everything other than one angle, which is this angle in here. Let's call this one alpha. And now all we need to do is to do law of sine, and we have actually some unknowns. If we do the law of sines, so we have F2 divided by sine of 45 degrees, and since we have R2, we go with R divided by sine of the angle, which we called alpha. So we know F2 is 2.8, R is 3.5. From here we can find sine of alpha, which is 3.5 times sine of 45 degrees divided by 2.8. Sine of alpha in here will be, and from here we can find the alpha. But the thing is, we can find two different alphas. One of them is 62.1 degrees and the other alpha, so we're basically talking about the first quarter and second quarter where we have the sign positive. So it can be either from 0 to 90 degrees, which is 62.1, or it can be from 90 to 180 degrees, which will be 117.9. So we actually have two different answers for alpha that can make that triangle that we are doing the law of sines. So we have to be mindful, probably this is the trickiest part of this question, just to be mindful that we have two different answers in here. And the other thing is, so for the amount of sines and cosines, if you go with 2 digits, that's going to change this angle. So the best thing is to go with the value of sine and cosine in here to get the exact these numbers that I have in here. But if you find the, for alpha, if you find this sine inverse of, for example, if you only did 2 digits after decimal point, you're probably going to get different answers than these two. So that's why I wrote 3 digits after. But like what I would do personally in the calculator, I just put the sign of alpha, whatever I get, and you just press on shift answer, and you're gonna put the answer from the previous step in here, and you will get the same number that I have in here. So now that we have this, it's easy enough to find the theta because we have a triangle in here. So if we look at our triangle here, so we know this one's 45 degrees. We found this one, these two options in here. So it can be either 62.1 or 117.9. And here we have theta plus 15. So if we want to do the sum of all the angles in the triangle, we have theta plus 15 plus 45 plus the two options that we have in here for alpha, which is 62.1. This will be equal to 180. That's one answer. And if we calculate this out, theta will be 57.9. And the other one is theta plus 15 plus 45. This time we go with the 117.9 degrees equals to 180. And from here, our theta will be 2.1 degrees. So obviously for each of these thetas, we get different F1. So this is our F1, this is F2, and this is our R. So in this step, we just need to do the law of sine. You can go either with R or F2, it really doesn't matter. But if you go with F2, 2 over sine of 45 degrees is equal to F1 divided by sine of theta plus 15, which is 57.9 plus 15. We know F2 is 2.8. From here we can find F1, which will be 3.78 kilonewton. And we will have the same thing for the other theta that we have. So F1, this time we will have sine of 2.1 plus 15 degrees. And from here we can find F1 1.165 kilonewton. So as I mentioned, we have two different answers in here. One of the answers will be the F1 1.165 kilonewtons, and for this one theta will be 2.1, and the other answer that we have is 3.78 kilonewtons, and the theta for this one was 57.9 degrees. And this would be the final answer for this question. Feel free to ask if you have any question regarding this one, or if you want me to solve another question from the 3 textbooks that we're covering in this channel, just drop it in the comment. I'll try my best to cover it in the next videos. And please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.